All right. Welcome in, boys. We are live. Take it to the bank of Martinsville. I got my guy Coop with me, my favorite guy. Coop, my friend, it's been a rough couple weeks. Late race variance has gotten us in the Cup Series big time the last 2 weeks. But we're here, man. We're here. How are you, my guy? How was your week?
Tilted. I pulled a little kegger, and just stayed off the radar for a while. And
Yeah, you did. I had to check up on you when Wednesday came and I hadn't heard from you. I was like, my guy is struggling right now. He is struggling. And then you were like, I was like, calm down, bro. You lost the tires to the motorhome. And you were like, more like the motor. And I said, you didn't lose the motor, man. You didn't lose the motor. And you were like, it was close. It was close to the motor.
Yep. I mean, I don't mind, like, if a guy's running in the top 5 for like half the race, and for whatever reason, don't get on him, and he ends up winning, that's our fault, my fault, whatever. But freaking Chris Bell, 40 laps left, hadn't been in the top 5 at all, man.
Unreal.
Like, unreal. It's just something we got to put in the radar for next year. Same way with Darlington. It's just these high tire wear tracks. That kind of stuff can happen, I guess.
2 weeks running that Chris Bell comes late, and the week that I needed him, when Larson was winning that race, he didn't get it done. And then the week where you and I are like, please don't. Do you know the worst part? It's just like when you just know you're dead. When you're watching the guy come and he's coming and he's coming and you're looking at the laps and you're looking at, all right, he's 0.2 faster a lap. And then you start counting the laps and then you're like, oh, we're so dead. It's like a slow death. It's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember I was saying, oh my God, Chris Bell went from like 9th to 5th, man, on that restart or something like that. And then I think he got up there to 1st. And then they had that caution again or something, and they came in and pitted, and he fell to 3rd or something, and then he got right back up there.
Milo's in the chat. He said, we bet Chris Bell so much recently, too. That's the worst part of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Where were we last?
Like, if you, Miami, if you bet Chris Bell after practice and qualifying and live during that race, it was a bad bet. Like, he showed absolutely no reason to be bet. Nothing whatsoever.
Nothing. Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
No way.
I agree. But my guy, we got Carson Hocevar at 12-1 in the truck race. We got that winner. You hit Sam Mayer at 18-1 in Xfinity. I did not get 18-1. By the time we looked at it on the live show, we could have hit him at like 9, and I waited, and then I got him at like 4. So I made a little bit of money in the Xfinity race, which for me, that's just the fact that I didn't donate and I actually made money is a big win for me in that series. Yeah, I mean, all in all, I think we probably made money in NASCAR on the weekend, but man, another Sunday dagger. It's unreal. What, like I said to you though, we have run so pure this year. Like, just like our guys have relatively stayed clean. Like, I mean, we've hit 23 out of 32 winners in Cup, so that's really good, man. That's really, really good. But the last couple weeks, and when you think about it, the only time that you and I are not on the winner in a Cup race is when something like that happens, when somebody comes out of nowhere, because we always set ourselves up to at least try to protect ourselves during the race.
Correct.
So like it has to be something like that in order for us to not hit the winner.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and
Mm-hmm.
we move on two more weeks. We got Martinsville this week, and then we have Phoenix for the championship race. We got
Mm-hmm.
futures going. We should probably touch on futures because right now the only guy that I have in is Kyle Larson. You probably have more people than I do in, right? Do you have everybody that's currently in the top 8?
Yeah, not everybody. No, I have 7 of them. I don't have Chris Buescher.
What a mutt.
So
Yeah. Well, I don't have him. I have Tyler Reddick, Marty that are alive, and I have Kyle Larson in. But we're going to talk about. I'm definitely going to bet Ryan Blaney for sure because good chance he gets in. Like we were talking about earlier in the week, if he could stay up there stage wise and have a good finish like he's done here, he's probably going to get in. Now, I understand that Denny Hamlin is the favorite to win the race. Very good chance he could win the race.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're really blurry, man, and I haven't had anything to drink.
I'm blurry?
Yeah.
I tried to fix that, man. Hold on.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know.
Is that better?
For the time being.
All right. So I understand that Denny's the favorite, and as of right now, I don't have the future on him. But I just think he's probably drawing dead at Phoenix, which is kind of why I don't wanna bet him, even though there's a good chance that he gets in. So I think I'm going to bet Byron and Blaney because I think the two of them and Kyle Larson could win at Phoenix. Does that logic track true for you? Like, where are you at? Like, if you weren't on Denny right now, right? Even though we know that he's the favorite to win this week and he could very well get there, would you pass on him to take Blaney and Byron?
So I bet Blaney today because I wanted the 14-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, my biggest best outcome, I guess, is Kyle Larson and Marty Truex.
Same right now.
Because, in the past, if you followed me, I've taken all my free bets, $50 or less, and I put them on the Masters because I absolutely love the Masters. And, I had good success. I won one time and I lost the other time. And I built a pool of players. And I decided to do that with Cup this year just to give it a try and see what, the difference is between the two. And, there's some pros, there's some cons. The pros is, you don't have to, worry about 70 players, who could potentially win the Masters. You only have to worry about, 10 to 12 drivers possibly who could win the championship. So your pool doesn't have to be as big. The bad part about it is the numbers aren't nearly as good. Um, you know, but then on the other hand, the good part of it is like you can't bet Rory and Brahm and Scheffler at those numbers. Whereas you can bet some of the better drivers at the numbers. I think I'm going to do it again next year.
Okay.
But, I think, I don't have nearly as much on the drivers other than what we had put the unit on earlier in the year. Actually, unit and a half, 2 units on
Right.
Larson.
Right.
So I think what I would do if I were you is I don't think they adjust the championship numbers. Like,
what do you mean?
Prior to the race. Like, I don't think they closed them during practice and qualifying.
Oh, you're talking about this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they closed them. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do.
Okay.
And maybe if Blaney doesn't qualify well, you hold off on him.
Oh. If he qualifies well, do you think that 14-1's gone?
No, I don't think they in the past they haven't changed the numbers whatsoever.
What do you think? Let's say that Denny wins the race, right? What is he next week to win the chip? Like 2-1, 2.5-1? They're all probably going to be like 2.5.
You're assuming that it's Larson, Byron, Bell, and Hamlin,
right?
I'm going to say Kyle Larson's even.
Okay.
Will Byron is 200.
Okay.
And then Bell and Hamlin would be 250 and 3.
What do you think the chances are that Chris Bell could win at Phoenix? Like, do you like his chances to run well at Phoenix? Because I don't have him either.
I don't. I mean, anything can happen. All right, but I like Larson. I like Byron, and then if Blaney gets in, I think he's going to be tough. He runs very good there.
If Denny finishes second, right, and gets beat late, let's say, but he ran around in the top 10 all day. Blaney ran around in the top 10 all day and finishes 6th. Does Blaney get in and Denny's out?
So under that circumstance, like if they all finished in the top 10, like say for the first 2 stages, Denny would have had to finish at the front part of it. And when I mean front part, I mean first, second, or third. And Blaney would have to finish at the back part of it, meaning 8th, 9th, and 10th.
And then you could see Denny sneak in.
Right.
That
but I mean, look, there's also a guy that nobody's talking about.
Who? Marty?
Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, he's run better. Well, I'm already on Tyler Reddick. I bet him at 5. Right. So
but nobody seems to be talking about Tyler Reddick. And I mean, look, it's not one of his best tracks, but he's only 10 points behind versus the 17 of Marty and Denny.
Well, it's funny you say that because Ryan from Win the Race, he has those pre-practice and qualifying rankings for Martinsville, and he's got Reddick in like the top 4.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. I was surprised by that. Right, like
right.
I expected basically everybody in his top 10. Except Reddick. Like, I didn't think Reddick would be that high. Do you think Reddick can run well here on Sunday?
I think he can run well. And by that, I mean, like, backside of the top 10.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, too. Backside of the top 10. I would be surprised if he finishes in the top 5 on Sunday. For sure. Nobody's talking about. Well, all right. We'll get to the race. So that's Cup futures. I'm gonna bet Blaney, and I have to think about. I think I'm gonna bet Byron because God,
I would bet Byron before Hamlin and
100. Yeah, 100%. Because if he gets there, he's gonna be tough, man. He's gonna be real tough for Kyle Larson. No doubt. All right, so those are the Cup futures. You guys already know truck futures next weekend. Coop and I are on Hocevar and Heim at like 7.5-1, both of those guys. So we're gonna ride those out. Hopefully everything goes well there for us. And then
that's Friday night.
Next Friday night, yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that.
10 p.m.
Why? Well, oh, because it's Phoenix. Right. What do you think Ben Rhodes has won a championship at Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's live?
No.
That's what I want to hear, Coop. When we're not holding them, that's what I want to hear.
I think he would have to do something, I mean, he threw a bomb last week, and it worked for him. And I think that's what would have to happen again next week. The guy just hasn't looked very good.
Not lately. No. If he didn't pit when he did, he was not going to finish well in that race.
I mean, he finished third, but he probably had a 15th place truck.
I agree with that totally. Xfinity futures. Coop and I pulled the trigger on somebody with 2 weeks to go in the year. We bet Sammy Smith at 60-1. He's finished runner-up at Martinsville earlier in the year, and he won Phoenix going away. So when I saw that number at 60-1, I was like, I know that he has to win probably 2 races, but man, that number's wrong based on the results from this year. So we took the shot. It's going to be tough, man. Did he get the pole today for us? Yes. That being said, Custer, Custer, Riley Herbst, who now looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. every week. I don't get it. And Nemechek and Allgaier, all 4 of those guys are going to be very tough tomorrow. Could he get it done? He could. I mean, I don't feel great about it, even though he's on the pole, because when you look at the long run speed, Allgaier looked very, very good in practice on the long run. What were your thoughts on Xfinity practice before we go over the Cup?
All I did was look at the numbers. I was out at a nice steakhouse enjoying dinner.
Were you?
Yeah.
What did we get? Did we get a nice ribeye?
I had barbecue ribs tonight.
Come on, bro.
Yep.
You went to a steakhouse and didn't get steak?
I mean, I can get steak whenever I want to, man.
But, that's just not what you do at a steakhouse.
I had barbecue ribs, and they were really good.
Were they beef ribs?
So, yes.
I never had beef ribs, Coop.
Yep.
Iowa told me last week that I have to eat beef ribs. I've always had pork.
Yeah, beef.
All right, what were the sides? I have to talk
French
about
fries. Yeah. They have it was the number 1 ranked salad bar, but now it's number 2.
Wait. What do you mean, bro? You power rate fucking salad bars?
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of places that, you go to and you can make your own salad. Typically, the salad's provided for you. Well, this place, and there's a couple other places around here that, you can make your own salad.
I don't even know if you've ever heard of this place, but there used to be a place by inside one of the malls by my house.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to a Ruby Tuesdays?
Yeah. That
salad bar fucks, bro.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good.
Excellent salad bar. Yeah, I enjoy. I love a good salad bar.
But they didn't have the fresh eggs tonight, and they didn't have mushrooms.
I'd rather be dead than put either of those things on my salad.
Yeah,
I just want to throw that out there. So
yeah.
Okay, so Xfinity, we're
no, my wife did get a fillet, and Dad got a fillet.
All right.
That makes you feel better.
Right. So you finished third behind them. So what are you gonna do?
My mom had coconut shrimp. In case you wonder.
At a fucking steakhouse, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, she put food in her mouth, man. I'm happy as all can be.
Yeah, I guess you'll take it.
Yeah. When you weigh 100 pounds, man, I'm
Well,
more than
no,
happy.
listen, man, coconut shrimp is delicious.
Yeah,
I
it is.
just wouldn't eat it at a salad bar. I mean, at a
Mhm.
steakhouse. All right. So that's Xfinity. Coop already bet Sammy Smith top 5. I also bet it at Bet 365 at plus
I
two.
bet him to win too.
I bet him to win too. Yeah, at 16-1 at BetMGM. It's on the site. I only threw a half unit on him to win because I knew. And first of all, we basically already have money riding on him to win the championship.
Like Iowa says, was this a golden? Like we don't even have a Golden Corral out here. Like that's the difference between Iowa and where I live.
Golden Corral? I'd rather eat food off the ground.
Like I would go to McDonald's before I went to Golden Corral.
For real. All right. So I bet a half unit on Sammy Smith outright because we already have money on him, and I knew that there were going to be a few cars tomorrow that were going to be very, very good. And we're probably going to have to bet a couple of them. So,
but like again, like you got to remember, I wouldn't put too much into that practice because I think that the conditions are going to be somewhat different. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't really disagree with that, but it's around the same time of day.
Around. But I mean, like nobody set the world on fire in practice.
Allgaier looked good. Like the longer the run went, he looked better than the field.
But when doesn't he?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm hoping Sammy can get it done for us. It would be a great call for us this year.
I'm gonna watch Brandon Jones too, man. He runs really well here. I bet him top 5, and then I'll watch him live. Although I imagine his number is not going to be 20-1.
Probably not. No. All right. So we turn our attention to Martinsville. There's no true track comp, right? It's a pretty unique Martinsville.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, you can use the other short tracks, if you want to. But it's different because of the braking and, things of that nature.
Last race earlier in the year, let's talk about manufacturers for a minute. Earlier in the year, Ford was phenomenal. Like even the Fords that you and I didn't touch all year long, like Briscoe was very solid for a part of that race. Ryan Preece, very solid for a part of that race. Logano is excellent at Martinsville all the time. So is Ryan Blaney. Kevin Harvick was very solid. But, that fourth quarter of the race, Kyle Larson's car turned on. He had the best green flag speed the last 100 laps of that race, and he ends up winning the race. But Ford was good. Toyota was not great. So like what do you think about the manufacturer? Because like I look at that plus 450 on Ford, and my immediate thought was I want to bet that. Like I would like to get that number up to maybe 10-1 and bet Ford to win the race just to cover, because I think that there are probably going to be a few Fords like Logano, like Blaney, maybe Kez, maybe Harvick. You never know. Almirola was excellent for a part of that race. Where are you at manufacturer wise? Like right now, I would rank. I know Denny's a 3-1 favorite and everything, but I would probably rank. I don't know. I think I don't know how I would rank it, to be honest. I just know that number's wrong. at 450 to me, based on what we saw earlier in the year. Where are you at?
Top to bottom, from a chance of cars that I feel that could win,
Yeah,
I rank it Ford. Then I rank it Hendrick Motorsports.
Ford, Hendrick Motorsports. So, like, I agree with you with Hendrick because I think Will Byron. I think that 8-1 number on Will Byron. I'm probably going to be betting him for sure, because I think he could win the race. I assume that we'll talk about Larson. I know earlier in the week you were like, I'm betting Chase Elliott this week. Do you still feel that same way about Chase?
Yeah,
Because you do.
because if I don't, I'll burn myself.
Where are you at on Bowman? You think Bowman's going to be good there too?
He's won here.
I know. That's why I asked.
So I would rank him fourth of the Hendrick cars. He could.
Why
That's
why why Elliott? I know how good he is. I know how good he is in like the short track format, but like I don't know. Like, have you been impressed with that car the last 8 weeks?
No, I haven't, but he hasn't been on a track like this in the last 8 weeks either. I just know that, like, he's fighting for the owner's championship. He has to win to get into the owner's championship final four. That's the only way he can do it. And I think a lot of their attention is going to be towards Chase Elliott. Byron just needs stage points. He's, up by 30 points. So I think he's going to be very safe. He's going to be very cautious. He's probably not going to beat and bang like some of the other cars were. He doesn't want to beat and bang because
does that make you not want to bet him to win the race?
Right. I don't want to bet him to win the race.
God,
not pre-race.
That number is so good.
Yeah, it is. But Larson, I think they're going to be testing, possibly, for Phoenix, setup wise and things of that nature. So I just think they're going to put a lot of effort into Chase Elliott's car. And to be quite honest with you, like, the owner's championship means more than the driver's championship to the teams because that's how they determine the pay. So,
I mean, Elliott is phenomenal here. Like, throw out that finish from earlier. Actually, I don't even know if that was him. Was that him or was that Josh Berry?
it was probably Josh Berry. I don't. Yeah. It was either, if it was him, it was his first race back.
So that was 24, but the 3 races before that, he finished second, first, and second. I mean, he's excellent here. Historically, he's very good here. So I get it. I mean, I get the number is appealing for sure.
The other thing is that he runs really well on concrete.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you would rank it Ford. You would rank it Ford and then Hendrick. But like when you think about Larson could be testing, Byron could be playing it safe, meh on Bowman. That tells me like the only guy you want to back at Hendrick is Chase Elliott. Is that true?
That's true.
So it's Ford, Chase Elliott, basically, and then Toyota.
I only think Denny can win for Toyota.
What happened to Marty, bro? Like, ordinarily you would say to yourself, it's a short track. It's a high tire wear track. I mean, like Marty.
It's not a high tire wear track.
Well, there's some tire wear at Martinsville.
maybe because they got a new tire, but that's the reason why they just follow each other around in the conveyor belt. There's no tire.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up because I forgot about that. I brought that up when I was in the YouTube chat with Worm, watching the show that those guys do on the YouTube channel. This year, it's been impossible to pass the leader on a short track. Pretty close to as impossible as you can get, at least in NASCAR this year when it comes to short track racing, right? So do you think that I don't see why that wouldn't hold true, right? Do you think that the guy that gets out after that first lap, the guy that gets out, you think he just drives away and they just follow the leader all fucking night?
Until stage 3. Unless these tires, like, there's two things. Like, one is the new tire. All right. So like when you read the capsule that they put out about the new tire, it doesn't say anything about it trying to create more tire wear. There were 6 drivers that tested this new tire, and they came to the agreement this is what they wanted.
Yeah, Pacress's tweet said something like the tire is more forgiving, whatever that means.
Yeah, right. I couldn't understand what the capsule meant, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but I think the bigger thing is this race is usually run when it's 40 to 60 degrees outside. Because, typically it's around 60, 55 this time of year. And then in the spring, we've seen snow there. It can be 40, 45. Well, it's going to be like 83 degrees. So it could create more tire wear simply because of the heat. So don't go crazy and think we're going to see something like what we see at Miami or Darlington, because that's not going to happen. But we could see more tire wear than what we've seen in the past at Martinsville in this new car, which could, possibly make it slightly easier to pass. But, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's why I want to see practice. And I don't know if practice is going to tell us a lot because, 40, 50 laps they might hit.
Yeah.
50 if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Long.
So, what's a long run at Martinsville? Like 120?
Yeah. They can go like 180, I think, on gas. But I think 120. 125, 100. That's first stage, second stage number, I think. Somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's why I want to see a little bit. I'm a little hesitant about it because stage 1 and stage 2 means nothing. It all depends upon who gets that track position somehow in stage 3.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like you were like when you said like until stage 3, they might get rowdy for like the first lap, but once the leader clears the field, he could be just gone. It doesn't matter if it's stage 3.
Yeah, he could be, but I don't think betting the driver who's in the lead for 80 laps in stage 1 is the right bet.
Oh, I don't really disagree there. So are you planning on not betting anybody pre-practice and qualifying?
I don't know. My thoughts the whole week is I want to bet anybody from 8 drivers to no drivers. And I don't want to bet anybody until the third stage. I don't know.
That entire sentence was a contradiction.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know I don't want to lose a lot of money.
Oh, no, Coop. No, Coop. You can't be, bro. First of all, we're up a fucking cajillion units. You can't be shooting scared, bro. Like I said the same thing to sign in the
I want to
NFL.
shoot smart.
In the NFL, I was in the NFL chat and I was like, man, I know it's been such a good year, but I don't want to give back so many units in the last 2 months of the year. And signed was like, bro, the year that you've had, you just got to keep firing. Can't change anything. And he's right. Like we just got to keep firing. It's been working for us all year. We can't stop doing it the last 8 weeks of the year. We can't. We can't. We gotta fire. Like I don't know. Like it depends on where you think people are going to qualify because the numbers are going to drop on certain people for sure. But I guess we'll talk about that. Let's start with the odds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books up. Can't look at them all. So we will go with Bet365 for now. All right, Denny Hamlin, your odds on favorite 3-1. Man, the last 2 weeks, Coop, the favorite. It's just been crazy. Larson was 250. Denny's 3-1 this week. Obviously, we can't bet him at 3-1. I don't know how much worse the number could really get with practice and qualifying. I'm not against betting Denny because it's Martinsville, but we're gonna have to get the number up for sure. You don't think that number is gonna really drop much, right?
No, I'm against betting Denny.
You're against betting him, period?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's the most egregious number we've seen the entire year on a betting favorite. There's no way in the world he deserves to be 3-1.
Well, what do you think his number should be?
8.
8? So you don't even think he should be the favorite?
No.
At this track, though, of all places?
When was the last time he won here, Jay?
I could tell you that right now, Coop.
I mean, I can tell you and save you time if you want me to.
Well, I mean, like I have it right here. Last time Denny won was 2015.
2015.
He's been in the top 3 an awful lot, though.
2015.
He's perennially in the top 5.
Doesn't
I mean, the
fit.
number, when I saw I'm not going to lie. When I saw the number, I was surprised.
It's the most egregious number of the entire year.
I was surprised. I was surprised, too, especially coming off the back of what we saw last week.
Hamlin, I mean, Toyota didn't run well earlier this year there. They didn't run well at Richmond in the last race. No way I'm paying 3-1 for Denny.
Well, I mean, when you say they didn't run well, two Toyotas were in the top 4. They finished in the top 4, 2 of them. So, like, there's only 5 of them on the fucking track.
Right, but that means that some Fords and Chevys were there too, right?
Yeah, Chevy, a Ford, and 2 Toyotas were the top 4. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think his number should be?
Probably.
You think he should be the betting favorite?
Oh man, it's so tough though because it's Martinsville. But like, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Like, I guess Kyle Larson should probably be the favorite, or Byron with the year that they've had. So
they've done in this car at that track.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I don't disagree.
I have no interest in Denny Hamlin prior to this race.
Here's the problem. Like I'll throw up all over myself if he beats us.
At 3-1, I won't.
That's the problem. When do you and I ever bet a number straight though? This year, it's rare.
Even at 8-1.
Yeah. All right. That's Denny. He's the betting favorite. Kyle Larson 6-1. I kind of agree with you. See, here's the problem. It's Kyle Larson. So like they could be testing for Phoenix and he could still lead 250 laps.
Right. I mean, just the nature of the racetrack.
Right. So I mean, I don't necessarily know if him testing for Phoenix would keep me off of him this race.
What if you're in Kyle Larson's shoes? What are you doing this race? What's the point of winning? What's the point of going out there for Martinsville? Like, wouldn't you want to be trying stuff to help you at Phoenix?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
But at the same time, he could also lead a ton of laps and win the race while he's doing that.
He could.
You know what I mean? Because
I'll take my chances that he's not.
Because that car has been so good this year. But okay. I mean, I buy the logic for sure. I might bet him, but I buy the logic. After him, Will Byron 8-1. God, I really want to bet Will Byron because I think that he could I think he's one of a few cars that could put the field away on Sunday. But I agree with you. The guy, he doesn't give a fuck about this race other than staying safe. Like he's not going to put himself in jeopardy because he wants to win a championship. But there's
I could see his pit team being extra cautious. I could see him being extra cautious on pit road, making sure he doesn't get a speeding penalty, because that's the type of way he can lose.
I agree with all of that. But there's nobody better on the racetrack at picking up the pieces than Will Byron. He could ride around in fourth all day, and he could still win the race when people are fucking around up front. But I agree way more with maybe not getting on Will Byron because Kyle Larson's in. So like he could let it all hang out. Byron really can't. Byron can't do that at all. But again, he's one of a couple cars that could just be excellent and be out there all day long.
Yeah, maybe they want to be excellent and play a roadblock for Chase.
That's possible too. For sure, because of the owner's points. Yeah, it breaks my heart to not bet Will Byron on this track at 8-1. But I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe if like I can get the number up, maybe. After him, Brad Keselowski 9-1. I mean, Kez is a very good short track driver, and that car has been very good the last 4 months. Where are you at with Kez?
I don't agree. I don't disagree with anything that you just said, but it's probably the second most egregious price of the year. No way he should be 9-1. No way he should be the third betting favorite or fourth betting favorite.
What do you think his number should be? Like 18? 16?
Yeah, 15, 16. I mean, if you look at Keselowski, he's done really well here in the fall. He sucks in the spring for whatever reason, but he's really good in the fall. And, there's no doubt, no taking away what you just said. He's been very good here over the last 10 or 12 races. Not here, but this season in the last 10 or 12 races. But the number is not where it should be. Like, there's no way he should be ranked higher, in my opinion, than Blaney. Maybe even Joey Logano.
Definitely. I think definitely Joey Logano and Blaney for sure. At this
I mean,
track.
Blaney, you can make the case that, he's been really bad here recently.
Joey's been excellent here.
No, just this season. Recently, over the last 10 or 12 races.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're talking about Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not been very good on the year. That I agree with. But at this track,
yeah,
the dude is just that team has this car locked in at Martinsville. And you would think all the information is getting talked about between teams, right? They're doing everything. Even Joey Logano's team is doing everything that they can to get Ryan Blaney in, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So, yeah, that makes me like Ryan Blaney even more. But I think Joey's a real threat. Don't you think he's a threat to win the race? It feels weird saying that because of how bad he's been this year. But I don't know. I feel like he's a legitimate threat to win this race.
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know if he can win. He's been not good.
He's been not good. I don't disagree with that. After Joey, Kyle Busch 16-1. Another week where Keg doesn't know what to think about KB. Where are you at on KB?
Yeah. KB was done when he got eliminated. His mind's not there.
After KB, scariest driver on the board the last couple weeks because he's just. I mean, Chris Bell is the Cup version of Riley Herbst. The last
Chris Bell said in an interview, man, that he's going to be working on Phoenix stuff this week.
Okay. So I guess that's good for us. Maybe we won't have to worry about him. After Bell, Chase Elliott 20-1. Coop likes Chase Elliott a lot. Can't argue with the results. Man, when is the last time that Chase Elliott was 20-1 at Martinsville, you think?
Maybe his rookie year.
Maybe.
I don't even know if they had betting odds back then. So.
God, that number's crazy.
Yeah. Think about this. Like, if I'm a book and I'm in charge of that book, I think the books are just setting themselves up to get crushed because nobody's going to bet Denny Hamlin at 3-1.
No.
But yet you're giving all these other great numbers on all these other drivers.
Well, Denny's number is bringing the number up on all these other drivers too.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be, man. Like, they're just setting themselves up to get crushed.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that, please, for Sunday night when Denny leads 350 laps. I need that.
It don't matter if he doesn't win the last one, man. That's all that matters.
I need that ready to go.
You really think he's going to win?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe he could. But I don't. He's not in my top, 4. Like I'm on the 4 train this week. Like I said, that number, I want to get that number up for sure. All right. After Elliott, Happy. We didn't talk about Happy. My guy Happy's excellent here. It's his last. Come on, bro. He's a good short track guy. Stop.
He has five top fives in like 40 races here.
The guy is a walking top 10 at every fucking track he goes to. All right.
Bet on top 10. We're talking about winners.
First of all, put the number up, Coop. All right. Put the fucking number up forever, my guy. All right. Put some respect on his name. He's only got two
next week.
He's only got 2 more chances to win a race before he rides off into the sunset, Coop.
Yep. Next week.
He's a walking top 10 everywhere he goes. How dare you?
Yeah.
And ask me who was on average the 3rd fastest car at Martinsville in the spring.
I guess you're going to say Kevin Harvick.
I am going to say Kevin Harvick.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason he finished 20th, it was not because of the car. He had a top 5 car all day in that race.
I just think he's probably the 3rd or 4th Ford driver I'd want to bet. 4th or 5th.
4th or 5th. Well, all right, we'll keep going.
You going to bet Kevin Harvick?
No.
Then why are you giving me a hard time?
Well, I shouldn't say that yet. Because think about the number that you're starting with. I mean, it ain't gonna take much, bro. We could double that number. You're not in at 40 or 50.
Maybe.
We could double that number. I think I'll put it this way: that based on what I saw from him at Martinsville in the spring, I can't count him out. Because he was wicked fast at Martinsville.
How did he do at Martinsville last year?
God, they've made so many changes to that car, though. Let me check. Hold on. Happy Harvick. Last year, 16th. Last year. He started 8th. He finished 16th. It's not been good there 5 out of the last 6 races. But that 20, I'm telling you, that 20th place finish, Coop, is not indicative at that car. At the end of stage 2, he was the winner. He was leading the race. He won stage 2. Like I think he could have something. And Stuart Haas in general was excellent at Martinsville earlier in the year. So yeah,
I disagree with you.
I think I'm gonna have you on Kevin Harvick by the end of the weekend for sure. After Happy, Chris Buescher, where are you at on old CB this week?
I think him being in a Ford helps, man, but I think there's other Ford drivers that are better than him. I'm not betting Chris Buescher.
How did he do in turn speed? Actually, it was so earlier in the year it doesn't even matter. He was garbage. He was a garbage can earlier in the year.
So let me ask you this. How many teams have caught up to what Ford did earlier this year? It's been 6 months.
Probably a few. 6 months is an eternity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably a few.
But the one format that RFK hasn't been good at is short tracks, if I'm not mistaken.
This year?
Yeah.
You know what, though? How many short tracks have we had in the second half of the year? Because that's when they really turned on.
None.
That's a little
Richmond, but
that's a little scary.
What did they do with Richmond?
Chris Buescher fucking crushed. He won that race, didn't he?
I think he did, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So like 25-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You better start writing these down, bro. I'm changing your mind. After Chris Buescher, got 2 SHR guys that I'm interested in, maybe. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Almirola, 28-1, phenomenal earlier in the year there. Chase Briscoe, 33-1. Where are you at on them?
I think if you bet one, you got to bet all 4 of them.
I don't disagree, bro. Ryan Priest sitting there at 40-1. I said earlier in the week in the Discord, am I going to bet Ryan Priest this week? Like, I think I'm not against it. Or just take an SHR.
I'm not taking SHR. Well, I guess you could. If we could get it up to 30 and just have one bet on them versus 4.
Yeah.
But it's got to be at least 30 for me.
What's the starting?
8.
We can get that up there. That's not a bad way to look at that, actually, Coop. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a free roll, those 4 guys at 28-30-1.
Yeah, like I'll give up a couple points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I could get all 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be the way to go rather than spraying all 4 guys. I'm with you. Plus, I plan on betting Ford, and I'm sure you probably do too. To get that, if we can get that number up to a decent number, so you would have a little money on the back end of that too. If you get SHR home, you're going to get that Ford bet home too.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the way to go. Maybe try to get it to 25, or maybe not even 25. Get it to 20, and then get the Ford bet up to 10, and then you got your 30. That way you don't have to go as deep in the parlays.
Okay. All right, cool. I mean? We're making magic. We're making magic, sweetheart.
What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
And then that also allows you to cover Buescher and wait and see.
Well, you would cover him with the Ford bet at least.
You got to make the bet on Ford and the bet on Stuart Haas before practice tomorrow.
That I agree with. Although, like, Stuart Haas might not qualify great, but I think that Penske's probably going to qualify good, right?
I think you're wrong. Go look and see where they qualified in the spring.
All right. Let me check. I could be wrong. I am wrong. Ryan Priest was on the pole. Eric Almirola was 3rd. Briscoe was 4th. I take it back, Coop. I take it back. They were the first 2 rows.
And then go to J-Ski.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're there.
I already am looking at the qualifying groups, bro. We've been doing this a while.
All right. Qualifying Group B is very, very, very difficult. I think there's 10 cars in there that could get into the top 5.
Yeah, three of them are SHR guys. The only guy that's
Right.
not is Happy.
And Logano's in there, Blaney's in there, and then I think Chase Elliott's in there. I could be wrong.
You know what, Coop? Do you think the books line qualifying like they have all year? Chris Bell, Byron up there. You think we get good numbers?
No. I think Amarola is 14-1.
14-1. I'll take 14-1, bro. So I'm looking right now. Priest is 13, Briscoe is 12, Almirola 14. Happy's not going to get the pole. He just never gets the pole. If it happens, it's going to be one of those guys.
Right, but I mean, like, look at the Group B. Read the names in Group B.
Blaney's 9-1 to get the pole, and Joey's 11-1 to get the pole. We could take those 5 guys, leave Happy out. I bet you one of them gets it.
Read the names in Group B.
All right, Group B. We got Hocevar, doesn't matter. Burton, doesn't matter. Dillon, doesn't matter. Haley, doesn't matter. You got Chastain, probably doesn't matter. Bowman, Austin Dillon, doesn't matter. Allmendinger, doesn't matter. And then you got Joey, Marty, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Bell. So throw out Bell. I don't think it's going to be Bell. And I don't think it's going to be Larson either. If they're working on Phoenix, there's a shot they missed the mark in qualifying. So, like, I think you're only really looking at Logano, Marty, and if we're being honest, Marty hasn't been good now for a couple months. I think, you know what, Coop? I think it's weaker than you think, man. Think about it. You got Elliott in there, could be a real threat. Chris Bell and Larson are in there, but they could be working on setups for Phoenix. Marty's in there. Could he get there? He could, but he's been bad lately. And then, like, you got Chastain, Hocevar, Burton, Ty Dillon, Haley. I'm betting it. Keg's going to be invested in qualifying. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to be invested.
Keep talking. I'm looking for something.
You keep looking.
Yeah, I just found it.
What are you looking at?
I want to remind you that you woke up early today. Your first post was at 11:43.
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
And you went out and you visited the sunshine.
I got a lot of sun today.
All 3 of those are rarities for you.
True.
Okay.
Yup.
At 1:13 p.m., you wrote, all we have to do is not drop 16 units between now and Monday, and we'll lock in profit 9 of the first 10 months in 2023.
Yup. Yeah.
And here you go. You're ready to bet the whole frickin' 16 units.
Shooters shoot, Coop. Not for nothing, we have an edge in qualifying. If they come like they came earlier in the year, I think there's an edge. Let's look at Group A. What do you expect out of Austin Cindric?
Mid-tier.
Mid-tier?
Yeah.
What about Eric Jones?
No.
Suarez?
Sneaky, but I don't think so.
Kez is in Group A, but of all the people, you seem Of all the Fords, you seem kind of down on him.
Yeah.
Happy's in Group A, but man, he never pulls out. When's the last time he won a pole?
Probably back in the COVID era when he was dominant.
Where did he start that race? He started that race seventh. Tyler Reddick started that race sixth. Chris Bell started that race 22. They were way off the mark. Byron started eighth. Where did Kyle Larson start? 19th. Yeah, I'm betting qualifying 100% after this conversation. 100%. So I'm going to drag you along with me too. All right, after yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, past the 40-1 spot, you got Bowman, Bubba, Suarez, Dylan. Anybody, Chastain, anybody worth talking about for you there?
I like those numbers. I just can't pull the trigger.
What's Bubba done on short tracks this year? How's he been?
He's been good. Maybe you bet him for a top 10.
What about our guy Ricky?
No.
He finished eighth.
No.
Ricky top 10 season?
You can't pass here.
Yeah, where's he going to start? Like mid-pack?
Where did he start in the spring?
16th. 16th. And what he was not in the top 10 during any stage.
My head hurts.
All right. We'll stop talking about Ricky. All right, so that's the outright market. Ford, and Chase Elliott for Coop. I don't hate the Elliott call. I'll probably tail it. Top 5 market.
So this is I'm being honest with you.
All right.
I haven't looked at much.
Well, let's start looking, bro.
Because I wanted to limit myself.
Right.
Because of all the unknowns heading into this race.
Okay.
So I figured that if I didn't look, it would help keep me away.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you do content with me. So it's time to start looking. Boy, oh boy, there are some numbers out there, man. On these Fords. There are some numbers, Coop.
How many of those Stewart-Haas cars finished in the top 5 in the spring?
Chase Briscoe finished 5th and Almirola finished 6th. After that, it was Priest was like 15th, and Happy, to be fair, should have 100% been in the top 5. So there should have been 2 or 3. There was only 1, but there should have been 2, maybe 3. And Almirola finished right behind the top 5. There's going to be a lot of action on the board. I could see it already. You got to put it on the line, Coop. You got to put it on the line to get the reward, my guy. Sign said, scared money don't make money, Coop.
So you're going to bet every Ford top 5?
I think that I bet you we can get all 4 of them at like 15-1. We only need 1 to crack the top 5. I think there's a good shot. I think there's a good shot we get it, especially with the circumstances of this race in particular, with some of the cars that we know historically have been monsters, like Larson, Byron.
Let me ask you this: Are you how many are you wanting to bet?
I would say Stewart Haas, Blaney, and like I guess we could stop there. Like I don't know how you feel. Like Busher and Keselowski scare me. Busher scares me more because he won at Richmond. So maybe Busher too.
Would you rather bet them top 5 or top 10?
I would.
If you bet them top 5, you can get a better number, obviously.
Yeah.
But not as many can place. Top 10, you can not get the better number. And more can place.
Do you think that
in a real world, I don't see a way that you don't get a couple in the top 10. In the top 5, you can get shut out.
I think based on what we saw here earlier in the year, it's going to be hard for one of those cars to not hit the top 5. I think it's going to be hard, and you could get more, but I think it's going to be hard for one of them to not hit the top 5. I think if one of them hits the top 5, we would make more money than hitting a few, because we'd also have to invest more money on the top 10s.
All right. Can we come back to the top 5s and top 10s?
Sure. What do you want to go to now?
Win group.
All right. Wow, Denny is plus 150. God, Will Byron is plus 375. Oh, Willie, they're killing me this week, bro. I like Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano in Group B.
Right. And then in Group C, I like Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick.
Chris Bell scares the shit out of me, but I guess I don't disagree with that. See, you didn't look all week. We're gonna have a lot of action, bro. Because I agree with that for sure.
But you got 240 and 340 on Blaney and Logano. Do you want to spend that number on that, or do you want to spend it on the top 5s?
I think there's a better shot that we hit the group.
Like, you're not hitting Joey Logano to finish top 5, right?
I'm on the fence. Like, he's finished second 2 of the last 3 races here. I'm on the fence, but if you were like, let's pass on him, you could sell me on it. I mean, heads up against Reddick and Marty. I like their chances. Joey's been phenomenal here though lately.
Okay. So those would be the two groups. Obviously, there's other groups.
Yeah, Group D's tough.
No, I'm in on other books.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me pull Caesars up. Let's see what they got.
On DK, I guess it's a little different. The group's a little different. Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
You're saying, oh, Jesus, a lot today.
Well, I mean, they have Ty Gibbs at 210, Ross Chastain at 260, Amarola at 260, and Briscoe at 300.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Really?
Well, were there 3 Fords in there?
2. Ty Gibbs, Ross Chastain, Amarola, and Briscoe.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Busher was in there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like that too. I don't expect much from Chastain, and I don't think I expect much from Gibbs either. What did Gibbs do here? 18th. Wasn't in the top 10 either stages at all. So, and what did Chastain do here? Finished 13th. He was 6th at the end of stage 2. And they like, oh wow, Almirola's plus 170 in that group. Forget that.
Holy moly.
What?
What's Ford on Caesars?
Well, the number I saw was 450 at
on
3.
Caesars.
You fuck. 210.
Do we need to bet that right now?
Well, I mean, like,
because it's not above 220 anywhere else. That's a blatant misprice.
I don't disagree. We have to figure out what we're going to put with it, though, on this show before we get off.
I mean, that's 100% difference.
Yeah, I know. When Adam and I were talking about it after we went on there last night, I was like, that number's crazy, bro.
Would you bet it for the people that don't have 365 at the 200, 210s?
No, I wouldn't. Probably not. Because they've been 350 all year, basically. With the exception of like the super speedways. I probably wouldn't bet it at 210. No. At that point, I would bet Penske probably and SHR, try to get the numbers up on them. and just pass on Ford.
Okay. What is Stewart Haas to win on Caesars?
$7.
Okay. Fred coming in tight this week. Okay. What about individual matchups?
Is there a matchup with like Ryan Blaney heads up against Denny?
Ryan Blaney against Truex. He's plus 105.
Yeah, but my gut says that because Denny is so low.
Denny is against Larson, and Larson's 125.
Superbook's not even hanging any matchup, I don't think, with Denny Hamlin. What about BetMGM?
DK doesn't have any. Fred doesn't have it.
What about FanDuel?
I'm looking at Barstool. You look at FanDuel.
Ryan Blaney's plus 162 against Denny Hamlin. How do we not bet that? Plus 162? God, I wonder what that number was earlier in the week. It didn't even occur to me to look at that.
Nothing on Barstool.
Chris Buescher's plus 160 heads up against Tyler Reddick. Jesus Christ, they don't respect Ford at all. At all. Are we off? What are we not seeing?
What was it? I mean, they're going towards the playoff. You know what I mean? The playoff.
Blaney's like plus 165 against Denny. Buescher's like plus 160 against Reddick. I don't hate those two of all that I see.
But like the reason I was asking, let's go this and go back to the top fives. Like we can't get into the top fives and all the groups and all the matchups.
Yeah.
Like, is it just the top fives you want to stick to? And maybe a group or two?
And Ford and winning teams.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what. Well, I mean, the even the number on Blaney's like 2-1 to start. Wow, top 5. Keselowski is plus 150 to top 5, and Ryan Blaney's 2-1. Jesus, that, like, how is that possible?
That's a good number because on Barstool, it's even in 150.
And then you got Joey's 250, Happy 3-1, Almirola 4, Briscoe 5, Pre 6. Yeah, we can't. I don't think we could not bet the top 5 because we're only going to need one to get home for us to have a nice day in that market. And I think we're going to get there. I think one of them at least is going to get there. So definitely top 5, definitely Ford. And I guess we can go with the groups and we could leave the matchups alone. We could leave the top 10s alone. And then we just have to decide which teams are we going to take. Are we going to take SHR, just SHR? Are we going to take SHR and Penske? What's the number on Penske? $7 to 1 too. Yeah, we got to take them. Jesus Christ. Man, if Gibbs really shows up, it's going to hurt.
The only thing with taking Penske is, like, are we just taking Ryan Blaney? Like Cindric doesn't have a shot to win.
Joey does, so though.
That's what I was going to say. It really comes down to Joey.
Yeah.
You really think he does?
I do, yeah. He's been too good there lately.
But, like, from a comparison standpoint, right? Like, Ross Chastain hasn't. Ross and Joey have had similar years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, disappointing. Yeah.
So
Ross was good on the 1.5 miles. Joey was really good on the super speedways. Other than that, they've been very quiet.
Right, and then even on the 1.5 miles, like, Ross didn't get the job done. Like, do we think Joey's going to get the job done? Like, I'm not debating against Blaney. It's really Joey Logano.
Yeah, well, I'm with you from the standpoint of, like, forget about Cindric. I don't think we could leave him out. I really don't. Because if he's sitting there third late in the race on a restart, we're going to be like, fuck, man. And you just know how he is, too. Like, if he sniffs that he could win that race late, he's the last guy that you don't want to be on.
Right, but, like, I mean, I guess you could look at it from, like, if he's up there and Denny's up there, like, he's going to race Denny really hard to try to help Blaney.
Right.
Oh.
Here's the thing. I want you to take 2 minutes, breathe, and just realize that you're going to be way more invested in the Xfinity 500 than you thought you were going to be an hour ago. Let that sink in for 2 minutes, and then we'll go back to work.
Like I'm fine with like the Stewart Haas and the Blaney. I don't know about Logano, man.
Would you rather
like what's the number you want to get Blaney to?
You're talking about
Blaney.
You're talking about
Blaney can win.
You're talking about Blaney to win the race?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely betting Ryan Blaney to win the race. Yeah. It's not even a question. $12-1's the best number right now. We could probably get it up a little. It doesn't have to be crazy. I'm not looking to shoot the moon. We'll have.
But I mean, if you can find the same parlay to get Penske to what you would get Blaney, then I agree we should take Penske over just Blaney. You know what I mean?
Right. Like he's 12-1. I'd be happy with like 18-1.
I'm gonna be up until fucking 3:00 in the morning.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I can't wait for fucking 2 more weeks so I don't have to be up at 3:00 on Friday.
Yeah, you're gonna be really sad 6 weeks from now when you're like, fuck, man, I can't believe we can't bet NASCAR until February. I'm gonna be like, yeah. Like we're starting at a number at like 7-1. We can get that number up to 18-1. I mean,
is there anything else with NASCAR, or is that pretty much where we're at?
That's pretty much where we're at. And I am bet, even if you don't, I'm betting qualifying for sure.
Who are you wanting to bet?
I'm betting all 4 Haas cars, Blaney and Logano. Let me just check. Where are they all in group?
Yeah, they're all in the same group.
That's the only thing that sucks is that Happy is in Happy Keselowski and Buescher are in the other group. So, man, I wish they were split up better, because Keselowski and Buescher are in the group with Happy, and then it's Blaney, Logano, Almirola, Preece, and Briscoe. Who do I have in the World Series, Ant? Come on, man. And I saw the message you sent me today. I definitely want to continue for sure.
It's the last time you go out in the sun during the day.
All right, you want to talk about football?
Too much sun, man, has gone to your head.
It's not too much sun.
So there's no UFC.
Nope.
So you can't use that.
Signed
already said that the boxing is just crazy numbers.
Right. I'm not using college football because I just don't do that. I know you do that sometimes, but that's not my thing. So it's going to be the NFL.
Okay. What about
I already saw one leg that I like. and that is Bet365. Brees Hall to have 50 plus rushing yards is minus 300. He's going for $120 Sunday against the Giants. So 50 is a joke. I like that as a leg at minus 300.
So why don't we just bet? Why don't we just bet? Let's just make it simple. All right. You want to play big boy this week?
I'm listening.
We'll ladder Brees Hall. With all the drivers.
That's a lot of bets. That's a lot of bets, dude.
$725, I think, to get 125.
Even his normal number, like at minus 110, I think like that alone with like Penske, Stewart-Haas, what does that get us up to? His normal number, 68.5, 60.
I say, I don't want, no, never mind. Forget that. We can only use Brees Hall one time.
One time for one bet?
One parlay.
So like Brees Hall to run for 68.5 with Haas and Penske is what?
Hold on. $15.20 at 68.5.
That's not bad. Like that's like two bets. Him over 68.5 with both of those guys at 16-1 with Stewart-Haas and Penske. Johnny said Hawkinson over 5.5 receptions is probably another good one. That's probably a good call. The dude had fucking 1 million targets last week, and JJ still not back, and they're playing the Packers. I don't hate that either, Johnny boy. I don't hate that one either, Johnny boy. Johnny coming with the fucking bangers. Kamara over 4.5 receptions. The guy's had 20,000 targets in the last 2 weeks. That's another good one I like. Ladder Kamara to 13 receptions. I'm already thinking about that, Milo, on PointsBet.
The Falcons plus 3.5 is minus 280.
The Falcons plus 3.5 is minus 280. Who's playing quarterback for Tennessee?
Malik Willis.
You like the Falcons in that spot?
I mean, Malik Willis is horrible. And then
he definitely doesn't look as good as he was at Liberty. That's for sure.
How much are they going to use Derrick Henry? Like, if they're really serious about trading him. The freaking total in that game is 35.
That's the
35.
That's the lowest total I've seen in the NFL in a long time. Like I think we saw some like 33 and a half, 34 over the last few years. But 35, is that the lowest total on the year? It's got to be, right?
Probably one of the lowest ever.
Will Levis is playing?
Oh, they're going to start Will Levis, the rookie from Kentucky.
He's better than Malik Willis. Henry over 14 and a half rushing attempts seems rock solid. I mean, like, theoretically it does, because they're probably going to have to lean on him a lot for the offense. But I don't know. Coop could be right if they want to trade him. They're splitting reps. Malik and Will. Okay.
Houston Texans money lines minus 170.
Texans money line minus 170. I kind of like the Panthers plus the points. My power ratings had some value on the Panthers plus the points. It's such a garbage game. Probably just avoid it. Eagles, Washington, where are you at in that game?
It's in Washington. They're probably going to want to put a real good step forward, especially Sam Howell. I don't trust them. 7 points is a lot.
Yeah. My PR has the line at like 8.25. So I think there's probably a little value on the Eagles, but I mean, I'm not running to bet them. My favorite side of the week is the New York Jets. The New York Jets and the New York Giants are not on the same level. The two best units on the field is the Jets defense and the running unit for the Jets. And when you look at their season win totals, there's a reason why the Jets season win totals set at like 8.5 right now, and the New York Giants is like 4. They're not on the same level. The Jets are way better than the New York Giants, in my opinion. I love them. I already bet them -3. I think the money line at minus 155 is like another decent leg for anything that we want to bet. I really like the Jets. It's a neutral site game. There's going to be a ton of New York Jet fans there, even though the Giants are the home team. I like the Jets a lot this week. And I like Breece Hall a lot this week. Ravens are going to destroy the Cardinals, sign said. Yeah, I mean, I'm heavily invested in the Ravens. I have them in like 3 teasers.
Kyler Murray's back.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yep.
I saw questionable. They weren't sure yet. Definitely a go.
Holden said he's 100% ready.
Okay. The line went to 9.5 with him in the game. It was 8. The line went up once he was ruled in.
Just telling you what your boy Holden said.
I know, but I'm saying that the line was 8. And now the line's 9.5 with Kyler playing. There's no way There's no way that's true. No way. Kushner's wrong. Kyler was a full participant in practice. Milo says Kyler's not back this week. He's doubtful. Yeah, there's fucking no way. No way. That line would be like 5.5. No way. And I'll tell you what, Coop. If Josh Dobbs plays, how do we not go over that number again? He's hit 40 plus in every fucking game this year. But one where he had 1 yard, and that's what's skewing that number. Now, I don't know if it's going to be 22.5 like it was when we got on it. What's his number right now? They don't have a number yet. But man, well, DK doesn't have a number yet. But if they hang one, I'm betting it again. Does 365 have a line? No. We have to be on the lookout for when that Dobbs number drops. What's up, Josh? Josh, get your checkbook out, buddy.
So Breece Hall and Kamara and Stuart Haas is 25.5.
Kamara over 4.5.
Yeah.
And Breece Hall
68.5.
Would you rather split the bet though, and bet them single? So you hit. Well, I think we could go. We could definitely go 2-0. I don't see us really going 0-2. I think we're going to go 1-1 at worst. I think I'd rather, whatever your investment is going to be, I think I'd rather just split it. Coop, I'm such a good guy that I didn't get birthday presents on my birthday. I gave birthday presents out to the people on Thursday night. That's what I did. A lot of them.
Hawkinson doesn't have a reception number on 365.
Let me check DK.
He has yards, but not receptions.
Yeah, I don't see receptions. Oh, wait. No. You fucking... I dropped my mouse.
Oh, I thought you dropped your stogie.
No. It's Breece Hall for everything I got, Josh. And the New York Jets. What's the number on Kamara by himself with those two, and Hall by himself with those two?
Breece was 15.5.
And what about with Kamara? The same?
1380. 1380.
I bet you. Hold on, let me go to. Do they have reception? Yes, they do. Kegger. Hold on.
56.5 rushing attempts
In the game?
Atlanta and Tennessee.
God, that's a lot.
It is.
That's 28 per team.
Mm-hmm.
Is 56. I could see it though. I mean, I could see it. Cordaro is he back?
Yeah, he played last week.
You like targeting Falcon games, man. You do it a lot this year.
Because, like, so 56.5 and 37.5 is almost 100. The rushing attempts is 56.5. The pass completions is 37.5.
For the whole game between both teams?
37.5.
What is the attempt number?
They don't have pass attempts. Well, maybe they do. Hold on. No, they don't.
I'm the president of the Hall fan club, Josh, my guy.
Like if Riddler hadn't thrown for those 300 yards, man, like that would be a lot, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Riddler, you said?
Yeah, the Riddler.
Did you add an L?
Yeah. Riddler. I call him Riddler. The quarterback for Atlanta.
So listen to this. Kamara has played in 4 games this year. Okay. He had 12 receptions in one game. He had 13 receptions in one game. He had 7 in a game. And he had 3 in a game. But that 3 was in a game they won 34-0. Now, him to get 7 receptions is plus 260. What's that number?
What's the question again?
Kamara. I want to know what Kamara is. Go to the reception milestone in the Saints game.
Receiving?
Reception milestone.
7 is 260.
Okay, what's that with like Haas?
3140.
And what is 6, that plus 135 number for Kamara at 6 receptions?
2015.
I like both of those. His targets are crazy.
But what would make it change?
Colts linebackers are good. But Derek Carr is so bad that he's just going to continue to look for him because it's safe. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Is their tight end still out? The big Juwan guy.
Somebody in the chat answer that. I don't want to take yards because he had a game where he had 13 catches and had 33 yards. 13 catches.
What if they realize that their $90 million man can actually get shit done if they give him opportunity?
I mean, you're talking to me about contracts. You think I know who the $90 million man is on the Saints?
Yeah, should.
Who is it? Michael Thomas?
No.
Who?
I can't think of his name right now. The white boy.
Oh, the kid from Ohio State?
No, that's a lobby.
Oh, Taysom?
Yeah.
He's not really a wide out though. Like I guess he
right,
kind
but they had some success using him in receiving at the end of that game. Like, what if they realize, like, hey, maybe this is something we need to look at? I'm just looking at ways like he couldn't get there. Like, what would keep him away?
I mean, like you could be right. Like he might get a few more looks, but Alvin Kamara is the engine to that offense. Like you can't go away from him. I mean, how far away? If you want to score points, how far away can you really get?
But like that team had a lot of success using Taysom Hill, one inside of the 10-yard line, and two out of the backfield or as a tight end.
Isn't that his package? Isn't that his package really? Like inside the 20?
Could be, but I mean, like if they were smart, like, and I saw what they did at the end of that game last week, like I would be making him much more involved this week. But I'm not a coach. I just saw what the game was. And he was pretty damn impressive.
I don't think that it would get us far enough away where we wouldn't get there. Right now,
how many times has he caught 7 passes in a game this year?
Taysom?
No, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, he had 13 in one game, 12 in one game, 7 in one game, and 3 in a game where they won 34-0. I mean, like, he's flying by 7 in half the games this year that he's played in.
So 75% rate.
Yeah. And think about the quarterback we're talking about. My 2 favorite plays right now of what we spoke about is going with Hall and Kamara. I guess I don't really hate that Hawkinson look, the other look from Johnny either, but we don't know what that number is going to be. And if it's one of those games, Johnny, where he gets 10 targets and drops 5 balls, I'll fucking throw up. But that being said, the Vikings, they might have found something last week. Like, I mean, Kirk just he didn't look at anybody else besides Hawkinson the entire game. I was trying to figure out how I'm going to bet Brees Hall like that. I think that's what we do. We tie him to NASCAR.
Yeah, but like that's four. I mean, like, what are you gonna like? I can't. You can't use them more than once.
Well, you can't use them more than once. Like, oh my God, Coop. If those two guys just got there, they could take care of like the winning team bets and the top 5.
Yeah, but like they can get hurt on the first play of the game too.
All right, so what else do you like? What else do you like besides those two? I like those two a lot. I'm definitely using them. Can't go to our guy Kenny Walker. Not against that defense. I am not gonna be betting players against the Browns. Browns defense is so much better than the rest of the league right now. It's not even funny. It's actually crazy how much better they are than the league right now. I mean, I guess you could look at Kelsey. You could look at Ayuk.
How many? I mean, that game's going to be close, right?
Seahawks game?
Bengals, 49ers.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I like the Bengals. Plus
like,
5.
Do they need 10.5 points?
What do you mean? Like, I mean, I think the Bengals could beat them. I think they could win the game.
But what's a good parlay number? Not the price, the number.
Probably 8.5.
You wouldn't want to cover 10.5?
I mean, I've been thinking about taking them on the money line all week. So I really like them in this spot. 49ers are in disarray. Joe Burrow's getting healthy. I think that like Joe Burrow could have a day. I'm with you, son. I'm with you. He said, give me the Bengals money line. I'm with you, bro.
Because like 8.5 is 205, 10.5 is 275.
Yeah, I mean, you could cover the field goal for 70 cents. I don't hate that. Off a bye versus an injured 49ers team. Yeah, we're in lockstep, my guy. We're in lockstep all week this week in the NFL. Going to be a good week. I think Detroit's going to fucking bury the Raiders, too. I don't mind St. Brown or Gibbs.
What about Patrick Mahomes passing yards?
See, my problem with that, like, Andy Reid has to know that Denver's giving up 180 yards a game on the ground, right? Like they're the worst rushing defense in football by a mile. He's got to know that, right? I mean, I think we could see a lot of Pacheco. Isn't that game supposed to be freezing cold and a snowstorm? I know the weather.
That's already happened.
I mean, Kelsey's been on a tear, so he could always get there.
I mean, you take 75 yards at minus 120
for Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
I listen. I
Don't give me the Kelsey story.
I bet him
we
a
all
couple.
know the Kelsey story.
Yeah, every time I don't bet him, he gets there. So I mean, yeah, could he get there? Yeah, he could definitely get there.
So you're going to take one for the team, and you're not going to bet him and let everybody else bet him.
I mean, if you want me to, I could. I could take one. I could take one for the team. I'll tell you another player that I like this week.
Pacheco, 65 yards.
Yeah, he could literally.
How many times has he hit 65 yards though?
I'll check right now, but he could crush that number potentially. That's how bad that defense is.
Let's see, that's the thing. Like, we don't want to be using 4 p.m. games, right?
That's fair. What was the number?
65, 66, something like that.
Once. But he had 2 games where he had 62.
What did he have against Denver earlier this year?
62. 16 carries though, Coop, where he averaged 3.9 yards a carry. That can't happen again. It's literally impossible. It can't happen again. Not when you look at what every other running back in football has done to them. It's impossible. If he gets 16 carries again, he probably goes for 100. And this year, his carry-wise, like his usage, he had 20, 16, 16, 15, and 13. So he's been carrying the ball a ton. A ton. I don't hate that. I don't
want to use a 4 o'clock game.
I don't hate that. Another, it's an 8 o'clock game, so we couldn't really. I guess we can't really use it for the race, but
I mean, we can use it as an out.
I like Palmer receiving yards. That kid is really good.
Like we can use the
playing?
Bengals.
I don't see him. Why isn't there a number for him? Oh, it's Sunday night, maybe that's why. Not Palmer. Who's the guy on the Chargers I'm thinking about, Josh? Yeah, Palmer. What are you talking about, Josh? You're killing me. He's not hurt, is he? I don't see a number for him at all. I like that Pacheco rushing yards. I think it's almost impossible, bro. If that kid gets,
I don't think we use it until we have to.
What time does the race start?
2:30.
Oh, it's early.
But it's a long race, 3 hours, 3.5.
Philly said Adam Thielen has been incredible this year. Gets there every single week.
That's true. Let's see what his numbers are. What about Carolina against the run.
Palmer's probably not going to play. Carolina against the run?
Mm-hmm.
They're ranked.
His reception prop is 5.5.
Oh, they're the second worst team in the league. 144. Okay. Carolina's given up. Denver giving up 170. Carolina giving up 145.
Damian Pierce, 54.5 yards.
I have to see what he's done this year. Give me a second.
He's due.
I don't like he's due. I don't use that sentence. Don't give me the he's due. The he's due is a recipe for disaster. He's due. Coop hit me with the he's due, boys.
Just give me the numbers, man. Come on.
Yo, you know what, bro? You can get your little fucking machine out and start looking. You got me running all over the place.
I'm using my machine.
Milo said Pierce is down to 33% last week with in terms. Yeah. Snap count.
Why?
Maybe that's why he's not due, Coop. These are his yards: 38, 31, 31, 34, 66, 81.
Is the 66 and the 81 the year or the end?
2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago.
That's weird.
He had 13 carries.
Wise?
Well, I'll tell you why.
What about
the dude's averaging 2.6 yards a carry?
But like he's tougher runner than that, man. Like he's a tough runner.
2.1 against the Colts, 2.2 against Jacksonville.
You know what? You know why? Did they get any offensive linemen back? Their offensive line is horrible. Because I remember DB Gnarly always talking about how bad they were. That's what it is. It's not him.
DB's in the chat. DB, have you had offensive linemen out all year? O-line, still backups.
That's what it is. Okay.
Backups are still playing.
All right. What about Thielen?
He's been a machine.
But what is a machine?
Wow, they're 0-6. Jesus. Adam Thielen. He had 11 receptions 3 times this year. He had seven twice. And the first game of the year, he had 2, which means nothing. So the last 5 weeks, he's averaging about nine receptions a game.
I think we gotta look at that. 5.5 is 155.
Plus 155?
No, minus.
Oh, his yard Coop, he went for 115, 107, 145, 76, and 54.
Yeah, I think his yardage is only like 67.
You could split the
player receiving props. 155 minus 1 minus
what is
5.5.
what's his 100?
Hold on, 67.5 is minus 110, and then whoa, 75 yards is 130. 100 is 360. 125 is 925. Receptions 7 125, 8 235, 9 450, 10 825.
Hold on.
My only concern is, all right, is from a game throw perspective. Are they going to be playing from behind against the Texans? Because that's why he's getting so much. Because they've always been playing from behind.
I mean, if you're asking me who's played better, C.J. Stroud or Bryce, it's not
right,
even.
But like the Texans aren't a team that's going to bury you.
No.
And you're going to have to play from behind.
But they are a team that's capable of scoring a lot of points. They could hang 28-30 against the Panthers, which is going to make them have to score.
I don't mind it.
I mean, 8 catches is 235, huh? I don't mind that either.
Dude, you can't bet all these ladders, man.
No, we're not ladders. Like 1, like taking the shot at like 7 or 8. I'm not betting ladders. I'm betting.
But I mean, you're wanting to bet 7 on Kamara, 8 on Kamara, 7 on Thielen, 8 on Thielen.
No, I'm saying 1, like either 7 or 8 on Thielen. I'm not going to ladder it. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go 7, 8, 9, 10 for every guy. If I did that, that would be like a straight. I wouldn't do that with NASCAR.
So
Josh said, "Hey Coop, we're up 300 units in 2023. We can ladder everything, bro." That's my fucking guy. That's my guy, bro. Ride or die to the end. Kid is a spitting image of my brother. Adam Meyer, don't go to sleep tonight. We're going to be talking all night.
like I think of all the ones, if I want to take a crazy shot, how many times has Thielen gone over 125?
Over 125 once, but he's gone over 100 3 times.
God, 100 yards is a lot.
Yeah, wouldn't you rather go with the receptions? I would.
Yeah, but like, what you really can't use it for anything. You have to put it with something else.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't feel confident enough betting Adam Thielen 7 receptions and a winning race car.
A winning race car?
Yeah, like I would feel more comfortable putting him in a top 5 bet.
Well, yeah. Right now, I'm talking about like our top fives and our winning teams, and maybe even our group bet. I'm not necessarily talking about the outright market, because remember, our plan was not to take any Ford really to win the race, right? We were going to just try to get the number up on Ford and Stewart Haas and Penske. So I'm thinking right now, we're probably not going to have many outright bets at all, because how many cars do you plan on backing that aren't a Ford? Elliott? Yeah. So like, I don't think we have to worry about like winning car, because I'm sticking with that plan. I like that plan.
Okay.
I feel pretty locked in too. I think we're good on Brees. I think we're good on Kamara receptions. I don't mind Thielen receptions. I don't really mind Bengals plus 10.5.
4 o'clock game. Those are secondary. Those are to cover us if we need to.
What were the 4 o'clock games?
Cleveland, Seattle, Baltimore, Arizona, Cincy, 49ers, Chiefs, Broncos.
Okay. Baltimore signed is 10-1 to be the highest scoring team, by the way. I looked at it already.
Kansas City's probably the favorite, right?
No. Kansas City is 9-1, third choice. Miami. Who's Miami playing?
New England.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, but they've looked better here recently.
Yeah, they have. But New England does not play well in the heat. Miami can hang 45. To be honest, bro, like I think sometimes FanDuel, like, they miss the mark on these high scoring game teams, but they're pretty locked in this week. Miami, LA, KC, and Baltimore, they would be the 4 teams that I would put up at the top against Denver, the Bears, and Arizona.
Where does Seattle rank in sacks?
Jesus Christ. Guy thinks I'm an Encyclopedia Britannica. Right now, Seattle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then do you have sacks against, giving up sacks?
Yeah.
Where's Denver? I mean, Cleveland. They're like one of the worst. They should be giving up the most sacks.
Sacks allowed. Who do you want to know?
Cleveland.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Washington and the Giants are 1-2 by a wide margin.
Seattle over 3.5 sacks is plus 125.
They're giving up about 3.5 a game, Cleveland. 20 in 6 games.
But I wonder if some of that's because of Deshaun Watson and not necessarily PJ Walker. Because PJ's playing, right?
Last I saw, Watson was questionable, right? Or is he out?
I think he's out. New England and Miami haven't played this year, right?
New England what?
And Miami have not played, right?
Yeah, they played. Miami beat them on the road by a touchdown, 24-17. I was live with Holden for that game, I think.
And they took out Tyreek Hill, right?
I could tell you. Tyreek in that game had 5 for 40.
So do we go back to Jalen Waddle and think Belichick's going to, shut him down again?
Well, Waddle went 4 for 86 in that game, but he only had 6 targets. Hill had 10 targets. Okay. So they were going for him. And Coop, what's the weather in Miami on Sunday? That's important because if it's hot, there's no chance they're keeping up with Tyreek Hill. Okay. Andrew said Patriots have held down every number 1 wideout this year.
84.
84 is not that bad. No. But I mean, keep in mind what the weather is in New England. Andrew said, what's the number on Kendrick Bourne receptions? They should be trailing, and he's been producing lately.
He's 45 yards.
Last 2 games, he had 6 receptions and 10 receptions.
Four and a half, 125 plus is his receptions. But I'm not fucking betting Kendrick Bourne. Can't do it.
I would say ETN's a look, man, but Pittsburgh's defense is still pretty good. Puka.
That game under 49.5 points is 334.
Which game?
Jacksonville, Pittsburgh.
Puka, Cooper Cup, and CD Lamb, I think, are also possible targets at 1 o'clock. And Josh Dobbs, when they release that running number, is, I think, also a look for us. That's a possibility.
That's a 4 o'clock.
Oh, fuck. Arizona's home.
All right. You want to start putting these together?
Don't mind the Bengals at 10.5. Don't mind the Jets money line. Don't mind Brees and don't mind Kamara. I think I like those. I like those 4. I don't mind Hawkinson either. We just don't have a number for him, and it's probably not going to be up before practice and qualifying. What time is practice and qualifying?
Noon.
Yeah, I guess I'll get in my bed and start putting these together. Iowa, where are the best qualifying numbers?
You go to 365.
I'm there. What about it?
All right, Blaney's 850 on Caesars.
He's 6 to
900.
1 to win the poll.
Yeah.
No, he's 6 to 1 to win the poll at
Where?
365.
No, he's 9 to 1.
He is not 9. Oh yeah, he is. My bad. My bad. I was looking at Byron. 9 to 1 at BR too. They basically have the same numbers.
Briscoe's 12. Priest is 12.
Priest is 13. Briscoe's 12 at BR. What's Almirola?
15.
Basically the same at BR.
Qualifying match bets. Ryan Blaney plus 125 against Martin Truex.
What do you think about that?
I like Blaney.
Any interest in Chase Elliott at 7 to 1 to be the top Chevy?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Won't take much to get to double that number.
Right. Yeah. I like that. Good call.
Yeah, you do. Who cares if the fucking motorhome's going to be on the line this week? All right, I feel good about where we are. What about, the numbers probably aren't back yet.
Yeah, they don't have them up on 365.
Oh, they're up on BR. Nemechek 275. Allgaier 3-1. Coop Sammy's 4-1, bro. Let's go. We'll take
It's
that.
350 on Caesars.
We'll take that 16-1, Coop. Custer 5.5. Riley Herbst, I'm betting that number. 1,000,000%.
What is he, 10?
12. Of Nemechek, Custer, and Allgaier, who scares you the most?
Nemechek, Allgaier,
Custer.
Custer's
Custer's
Custer?
5.5.
Custer.
He's the fourth choice.
What's
Wow.
Brandon Jones?
We fucking sniped that number, Coop. 14.
It's 15 on Caesars.
What do they have for Allgaier and Custer?
Allgaier's 280, Custer 6.
So, like, what do you do? What do you like? We could do and have a decent number on him. What do you do with Nemechek and Allgaier?
You turn to the college football streets.
Oh, I fucking hate college football. Actually, that's a lie. I love it, but I hate to bet a lot of money on it. What about some head-to-heads to get those numbers up? I don't see a lot to work with. What do you expect out of Sam Mayer?
I mean, he's in the playoffs. I mean, he's in the championship, so.
Riley Herbst is like minus 120 against Sam Mayer.
Like, I could see. Let me look at the points real quick.
Because if it's one of those situations where Mayer is just gonna run around the track all day, I like Riley Herbst in that matchup.
Oh, Lordy. This is nice.
Everybody say a prayer before you look at the spreadsheet in the morning.
So, Cole Custer. All right. So, Mayer and Nemechek are in the championship. Cole Custer is up by 3 with Austin Hill. They're both tied for 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
Justin Allgaier is 3 points behind him.
Okay.
So basically, those 3 drivers are racing for 1 spot, possibly 2. All right. Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, Sheldon Creed all have to win. There's no way they can point in. So if Custer and Allgaier start worrying about points and being really conservative and not wanting to beat and bang, because like Sammy Smith is 49 points, Chandler's 54, and Sheldon Creed's 65 points behind. Like for one of those 3 to get in on points, 2 of those 3 drivers have to wreck somehow.
Right.
So, I mean, you could see the three of them being really cautious and fighting for, against each other. I think that helps Sammy, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, that's what I want to hear. Riley Herbst is plus 170 to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, but when you say Riley Herbst, I think of speed, tire wear. I don't see this as being a track that really favors him.
Well, I think his numbers were really good in practice.
What did he do in the spring? I know he's a different driver now, a different car, and a lot different momentum.
Riley Herbst only ran 10 consecutive laps, actually, in practice. And actually, he was not that good. Like, he was 12th maybe in practice, and then qualifying, he did really well. I'll check what he did right now.
You know your boy Sheldon Creed's going to be in a nice whip next year. Might actually win.
Gragson's in Almirola's car.
Yeah.
What is what car is Creed in?
It's going to be in a JGR car. Either Nemechek's or Sammy Smith's car.
Riley Herbst crashed.
What did he do in Richmond?
Started 4th. He finished 23rd. He led 27 laps.
What about the other race? Isn't there 2 of them in Richmond?
No.
Oh, I think we just watch them live.
God, he's been so good the last couple weeks. He's starting 4th. Front row is Sammy and Allgaier. Row 2, Custer and Herbst. Row 3, Nemechek and Jones. So you're going to bet Allgaier and Custer?
Yeah.
What about Nemechek?
No.
Say that to me one more time. What you were just why do you think it's good for Sammy?
Because Sam Meyer and John Hunter Nemechek are already in.
Right.
Custer and Hill are tied at plus 3 points over Allgaier.
Okay, Hill's starting 9th.
So those three are fighting for at least one position, if not 2.
Okay.
I mean, Sammy has one choice. He goes for the win.
Right, yeah. Which is why we bet him.
So if the first stage, all right, or stage, let's say stage 2, either one of them. I don't know how many laps there are. We'll use 100. If there's a caution at lap 80, I'll guarantee you he's pitting. And Custer, Hill, and Allgaier may stay out for the stage points.
Oh, okay. I
and then pit and lose. I don't know. I'm just saying that's a possibility.
Right. So at this point, you don't think the race.
I might not even butt Custer and Allgaier. I don't know.
So at this point, you're saying that you don't think their number one priority is going for the win?
I mean, it's hard to say that they're not going to want to go for the win, but the race circumstances, I think, are going to make sure that they secure stage points, as many as they possibly can get.
That's priority number one.
Yeah. Because they're like I said, Sammy, Chandler, and Creed, there's no way they can point through. No way.
So you're saying that you might just have parlay legs in your head, go into the race with just Sammy and go from there?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, if the whole stage goes green, it might be a moot point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many cautions were there in the spring?
There were 10.
Wow. So 8 regular cautions.
Yeah.
How many were in stage 1 and 2, do you know?
Well, there were 1, 2, 3, 4. So two cautions besides the stage break, and then there were 6.
And the last one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I guess it all depends upon when that caution flag falls in the stage 1 and 2.
Right.
Because it's only 250 laps, right?
Yeah.
So theoretically, they only have to pit one time.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I would be shocked if they only pit one time.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But
so, what do you know? How it's split up?
I do not, off the top of my head. But I can tell you real quick. Hold on. $60, 130.
So wow. So they might. Do you think anybody runs through stage 1 and 2 without going down pit road?
Possibly. I don't know. I think it's because you can make it to the end of stage 2 without pitting.
Yeah.
So possibly, yeah.
Do you think, like, what do you think the fall off? Like, let's say Sammy stays out at the end of stage 1, right?
Well, go look at the practice times. And what was the fall off from a 5-lap run to the longest run for the guy who ran the longest?
So Nemechek was running 20.674 at lap 5 lap average. 6.674. And then at the 30, it was 9.11.
So 0.3 seconds.
Yeah, so I think they have to pit, or you're going to get buried.
I think you could do it. You could try to stretch it, but
depends on how many cars stay out.
Right.
Like maybe the guy that's out front, he might be okay. I think if you're in traffic, though, you're probably going to get buried.
So, hold on.
I'm not going to leave my desk until 3 a.m. probably.
Like, this doesn't tell me when they pitted, but Nemechek finished first in stage 1 and 2. Cole Custer finished third in stage 1 and 2. Sammy Smith finished second and fourth. Like, I don't know if they all pitted or they all stayed out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, they were all up there.
I don't want to get you excited, but I think we're going to crush this weekend.
You also got to remember that what I say it was 60-60.
Yeah.
So that's 120. But you're probably going to soak up 8 or 9 laps in between the stages. So you only have to run 110 really. 112.
Right.
And
you could
another call, you know.
You could be right. They might stay. The guys up front might stay out for 1 and 2.
I don't know.
Because at that point, you're talking about what? Like, if you have one caution in stage 1 and 2, you're running probably 95 actual laps, right?
Uh-huh.
So at that point, why give up that track position? Or risk giving up that track position with a bad pit stop?
Yep. I don't know.
So, do you plan on using any college football legs?
I'll have to look at them.
Genocidal mass slaughter of Jews on Jews.
Fuck off, Ben Shapiro.
You gonna bet these qualifying numbers straight?
No. I'm probably going to add one piece and try to fire. I'm either going to split it up and bet like quarter units straight and quarter unit try to catch a price, or I'm just going to add like one piece to it and bet half units. I have to figure that out. I told Iowa he better go make a cup of coffee.
Okay.
All right, boys. I feel good. I think we're in a good place. There's going to be a shit ton of action on the website. So if you tailed us all year and you're up 215 units, you better load the gun up because we are firing. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow, 3:00, Xfinity. We'll see you Sunday, 1:00.
You sound really excited about the Xfinity race tomorrow.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited. I'm excited because I can't tell you how bad I want to get Sammy to Phoenix. Oh, I want to get Sammy to Phoenix so bad. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. So for Coop, I'm Keg. We'll see you tomorrow at 3:00. Later, boys.